Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting show on the Just Baseball Network. My name is Peter Apple. It is Thursday, July 6th, and I'm here to deliver you some MLB winners. Yesterday was horrific. Horrific. That's the kind of day that if you're just a casual MLB bettor, and not casual in the sense that like you're bad at it, but you know, you're not a diehard of the sport, you're not used to the ups and downs, that could drive you off a cliff. That was one of those days that could say, you know what? I'm turning it in for the year. And to be completely honest with you, I am so used to the ups and downs that I had the same thought. We are all in the same bucket. It was just so cruel, right? And that's the theme of this season. It has been horrible bad beats. And again, I'm fine with losses. Losses happen. We love wins. But it's the bad beats. And I think over the All-Star break, I'm going to try and find a montage of just this month's worth of bad beats, because that's been the theme of this horrible stretch that I have been on, right? But there's always tomorrow. And I know it's cliche, but that's the great part about baseball. There's always tomorrow. There was always an opportunity to make it back. And remember, if I'm on a cold stretch, that's the beauty of this show. Tail somebody else that's on a heater, right? Producer Cohen, can you flash the current leaderboard? Your boy has fallen out of first place, right? And Javon, I'm going to chirp Javon a little bit. He's been doing awesome, but he's just got to get to 100 picks. He'll get there, most likely. He's got the entire second half. But we need to see more Javon milk. Ben has catapulted into the third place spot to Jen, Ollie, Jake, Gino, all positive. And everybody is trending in a pretty damn good position. And remember, this is all tracked on the Pikkit Sports app. Make sure to click the link in chat that Producer Cohen is about to put in. Download and use promo code Peter when you sync your sportsbook, and you'll enter it into a raffle, and you can win anywhere from $3 to $100. Of course, all MLB picks brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Promo code JustBaseball for new signups. Same thing with Prize Picks. In this episode, I got you for one of my favorite MLB picks, and then, of course, a Prize Picks entry. Producer Cohen has created some sort of a montage highlights kind of thing to illustrate what we had to deal with yesterday. Let's start with number one. Guardians versus Mets. Oh, this is so this was a nightmare. That was a nightmare. Just for the numbers of that left the bat. Play it again. That left the bat at 104 miles an hour. It went 402 feet with an expected batting average of 820. And that wasn't even the worst part of the beat, right? The Guardians left 10 runners on through 5 innings. 10 runners on through 5 innings. I'm not someone who's just like bitching about bad beats. It's baseball. We know what we're getting ourselves into. I'm more just illustrating it because it all happened in one day. It's one thing to have one bet go have a bad beat. All of them? Let's do the other one. The Mets, 3-2, 2 outs. Francisco Alvarez says, Peter, your night is about to get worse. Ties the game up with a home run and acts like they just won the World Series. And then how about this? Little Mark Canha bombshell into the gap. Bombshell. Brett Beatty coming around third. They're waving him home. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. And then I had a little bit of faith. Can the Diamondbacks come in bottom of the ninth and win it? Absolutely not. What was I even thinking? Why would they have any late game magic? And then, of course, the early one before the stream even started, we took under 9.5 in Rockies versus Astros. Of course, it lands on 10. That wasn't really a bad beat, just lost on the hook. Again, like, that's fine. I'm fine with that. It's these type of bets that drive me up a wall, but we're all in it together. We're all in it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. And I got one pick, and you might hate it. No. Let's recap that shit. No. Let's recap that shit. Don't take away the graphic. Let's stand in front and admit when we got destroyed. I mean, does it get worse? Does it get worse? No, you know what? Keep it up. Keep it up. Toronto, Chicago, honestly, that shit was going over. I knew it was. It didn't matter. Pushed. Arizona money line, disaster. Cleveland money line, not even fucking close. Cleveland versus Atlanta. I'm going to be thinking about that Cleveland versus Atlanta game the entire season. I could not believe the Guardians. Peter, what about the Houston under getting hooked? Oh, yeah, I know. We just talked about that a minute ago. Shit happens, ladies and gentlemen. I still got a smile on my face. Makes you stronger. Builds character, I think. I really do think it builds character because it can't get any worse. Well, it could get worse because we got a pick today, but I kind of like it. Let me break it down. So let's talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates. But just so we all know, I think there's someone on stream who's going to be on the Dodgers. So if you disagree with me and like that pitch better, take it. All right? And, is that Cali Wagers coming on next? Perfect. So you're going to hear my pitch, and then you're going to hear his. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are taking on the Dodgers at 10 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Yohan Oviedo versus Julio Urias. So, in my opinion, the line is the way that it is due to Julio Urias' name value and it being the Dodgers. In no way, shape, or form do they deserve to be anywhere close to minus 240 or minus 250. Excuse me. Because Julio Urias has not looked like himself. And then he hit the IL with a hamstring injury. Now, he made one rehab start in high A, threw 4 innings and allowed 1 earned run while striking out 8 batters. Then he comes back and gets bombed over 3 innings in his first start back since July 1st. Eduardo Rodriguez had kind of a similar path, right? Comes back from injury, gets blown up by the Oakland A's, right? We had a lot of people on Tigers team total yesterday. Tigers minus 1.5. Eduardo Rodriguez got blown up. Now, it's not Julio Urias' first start returning from the IL, but he still doesn't look to be the same pitcher that he was when he was second in National League Cy Young voting the year before, right? So betting against pitchers kind of getting back from the IL can be profitable, but even if, take that out the window. Take it completely out the window. Let's say we were getting Julio Urias before the injury in his current state. I would still find value on the Pirates. Not as much, but I find more now. Now, Oviedo and Urias, they haven't looked all that different this season, especially by your ERA estimators, right? FIP, XFIP, Sierra, XERA. Urias sits at a 4.40 expected ERA. Oviedo sits at 4.49, 0.09 difference. Urias takes the lead in Sierra, sitting at 4.08 compared to Oviedo at 4.74. Now, Urias has posted a 5.30 FIP and 4.23 XFIP. Oviedo beats him by a lot in FIP, a little bit worse than XFIP. So they're not that different. With the way that they've performed this season, they are very close. I know that sounds crazy, but by those stats, there's not a big edge. And then, of course, Oviedo has a better just regular ERA than Urias does. Now, Urias doesn't throw that hard, right? He's 93 with the fastball. But what he does best is that he creates well above average spin, right? It's that fastball that gives you life, right? It looks like Julio Urias' fastball is moving up in the zone, kind of similar to like a Spencer Strider, that life we talk about, right? It's called induced vertical break. And induced vertical break is basically the batter's eye in gravity expects that every fastball is going to drop a little bit, right? Because gravity is pushing it down. But when it has tons of high spin, it's not actually rising. It's just not falling. So a lot of batters swing under it, right? And that's what Urias does best. But this season so far, the spin rates on all 3 of his pitches, that beautiful curveball that he throws, are all down across the board, leading to him getting hit harder than ever in his entire career. Now, coming off an injury too, the Dodgers are going to be sure to, measure his pitch count, right? I doubt he even goes over 80 pitches, because when you consider that Dustin May and Clayton Kershaw just goes to the IL, shout out the season-long entry, but hopefully he comes back soon, and Dustin May season-ending surgery. They are not about to risk this on the 4th game of a series when they've already won 2 out of 3. Now, the Pirates have also seen Arias plenty of times. They already beat the brakes off him back on April 27th. Threw 5 2/3 and allowed 6 runs on 7 hits. Now, this was not some unlucky driven start, right? Posted a 7.15 FIP during that start. Over 70 plate appearances against the Pirates' current roster, which extends farther than just that one start, because one start is one start. We need a bigger sample of 70 plate appearances. Not a ton, but enough, right? Anything above 50, I'm like, all right, that's a good enough sample to see what we got. Arias has allowed a 524 X slug and 378 X WOBA. Those are fancy numbers. Basically, 524 X slug, 378 X WOBA. Who's a hitter in Major League Baseball who has similar numbers to that this year? Bo Bichette. 375 X WOBA, 523 expected slugging. The only player without elite production against Arias in the Pirates lineup, outside of like Henry Davis and Tucupita Mercano and Triolo if he plays, because they're rookies, is Austin Hedges. Shout out Austin Hedges, though. He's not going to get a hit today. It's fine. The Dodgers had seen Oviedo before and jumped on him as well, right? No doubt about it. He allowed 4 runs and 5 1/3 back on April 25th. However, he posted a 2.92 FIP in that start. A little bit unlucky. Luck was not on his side. In 33 plate appearances, which is kind of a small sample, not big enough to really pull anything from it, but it's worth mentioning that against the Dodgers, 305 X WOBA, 411 expected slugging. Who has something like that? Michael Massey of the Royals. Don't lie to me. You don't know who Michael Massey is. And if you do, shout out you. We are putting the Dodgers in their lesser split by facing a righty this season and the Pirates in their better split facing a lefty. Over the entire season, the Dodgers have a 111 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. Pirates sit at 102 against lefties. Last 30 days, Pirates have a 101 WRC plus against lefties. Dodgers sit at 107. Right? So it's not, of course, the Dodgers are a better team than the Pirates. I'm not here to convince you anything otherwise. But what I'm saying is, should they be minus 250 in this matchup? And you're probably wondering, well, Peter, take the first 5. Why not? But I'm actually thinking the Pirates might have the advantage in the bullpen today. So when we look at the Pirates, they use their bullpen, right? And what I mean by that, if their best arms are available, they use them, regardless of rest. It won't matter much anyway if it's not close, right? Because we'll just lose the bet. If the Dodgers just pull off this great lead, we lost anyway. But if it's close, I think the Pirates have the advantage here, right? They could go to David Bednar. Colin Holderman is back from the IL, who's very solid. And Yuri De Los Santos, who's also a really good arm, 0.90 ERA this season, and a few more of relievers with ERAs in the 3. Their issue is that the bottom of their bullpen is bad. Kind of like some of these teams, right? But the top end, like Bednar's an all-star. Colin Holderman was one of the best setup man before he went down with an injury. Yuri De Los Santos, when he got called up, has been great. But then the main part about it is look at this Dodgers bullpen. Do we have the bullpen usage that we can pull up, Producer Cohen? So who are the 3 best Dodgers bullpen arms, right? Caleb Ferguson, Evan Phillips. And I think you could argue Daniel Hudson, right? They grabbed Daniel Hudson for a reason. He's a good arm back there. I want you to show how red it is, Producer Cohen. I want you to show how red it is. Because it's red. So it's not just any bullpen arms. The names are so blurry. But Ferguson has thrown 56 pitches in the last 3 days. He's thrown in the last 3 days. He ain't pitching. Daniel Hudson has thrown 50 pitches in the last 3 days. He ain't pitching, through 29 yesterday. Evan Phillips, through 3 straight games, got a day off yesterday. He might come in. Might. Even so, not that much rest. But we'll probably see him. But again, if we see him, Dodgers probably won anyway. Ryan Brazier, not that good, but he's thrown 31 pitches last 3 days. Phil Bickford, same thing, 28 pitches. They could go to Yency Almonte, who's not that good. Bruce Gratterall is day-to-day. Who are they going to go to after Julio Urias? So that's why I went full game. And another caveat to this, the Pirates play weirdly well against the Dodgers, right? Remember last season when they swept them? And every game so far this series, if you especially watched last night's game, Pirates were ahead. They just blew the lead because Roansy Contreras came in. And Roansy Contreras is just not that good. We're not going to see him tonight. Plus 200? The model makes this plus 144. I think it's closer to plus 140. Do I like the over the bullpens are taxed? Yeah, I think that's a fine pivot. Peter, why didn't you take the Jays over again? I don't bet on bullpen games. Also, Total Slayer subscribing in tier 1. Thank you, my friend. Do I like Pirates team total over? Yeah, I mean, I think they beat the Pirates. We afraid of a plus 200? We afraid? I just think they're going to win. Give me them to win. And you know what? They might lose. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat myself on the back. I want you to find another MLB capper that goes over 4 and then comes in and gives you a plus 200 bet. Come on. Does that make me smart or an idiot? I'm either going to be an evil genius after today or a complete moron who's lost my mind. I'm willing to take the bet. Give me the Pirates at plus 200. Let's get into prize picks because I got a prize picks entry for the people. How about this? So Arias, I'm taking his under pitching outs, and it's mostly based on the fact that he could pitch well. The Dodgers ain't going to extend him. There's no reason to. If he goes over it, so be it. It's not just, all right, Arias is working his way back from injury. There's probably going to be a pitch count anyway. It's what has happened to the Dodgers. Talked about Kershaw, talked about May. You think they're going to risk it on July 6th going into the All-Star break? If they do, they do. I wouldn't. I would not do it. This game is not worth it. Still coming back from injury, still coming back from that hamstring. Not fully right yet. We saw that in his first start. I'm taking his under 16.5 pitching outs. And by the way, it's minus 170 towards the under at 17.5, minus 120 towards the under at 16.5. So if he does end up, it'll probably be around this, but I don't think he's going to go longer than 5 innings because I think the Pirates are going to hit him. Now, the second leg is Nolan Gorman over 1.5 Ks. So if you guys remember Mike Trout, he was up on the board for 1.5 Ks. It's not often that we see this, but these squares on Prize Picks have been printing, and Gorman is rocking a 30.2% strikeout rate this month, and his strikeout rate, 30.2% this season, 36.8% strikeout rate in the month of July so far. Very short sample, but he's just striking out a lot right now. And the pitch that he whiffs the most on, sliders. But his 4 worst pitches by whiff rate are fastballs, curveballs, sliders, changeups. That's what Yuri Perez throws. That's his entire arsenal. And Perez is also rocking a 28.7% K rate, putting him in the 79th percentile in Major League Baseball. I think there's a chance he strikes out every batter, or strikes out every single time that he faces Yuri Perez. And if he only strikes out once, give me a strikeout against the bullpen. All right? This Reds Nats over as no life. Cubbies tie it up. What's going on in the other games? Shit wager. Hey, we'll make it back. Let's talk dangers. Hey, before you even bring that up, Luke Raley, I'm not an idiot. I can know ball. I know it's been bad, but I know ball. Luke Raley yesterday, anyone hit that? That was my 1 home run pick from stream. Oh, let's go into today's. I gotta have fun with some winners, right? I can't. I gotta find happiness in something. So yeah, a lot of people are asking, Peter, why are you on the over again in White Sox Blue Jays? It might go over. It's honestly a good bet. I just personally do not bet on doubleheaders. That's just me. I think they're weird. I think crazy shit happens. I've gotten burned on them too many damn times before. Who do I like here? Kutch. Henry Davis with has some short odds. Don't hate that either. Don't hate that one bit, Matt E.O. Baker. Don't hate that one bit. Who do I like here? I won't be McCutchen is never on here, people. Never on here. Have you seen him on here? This is the first time I've ever seen him on here. Jared Young has kind of been on here a little bit. Yeah, he's starting to fit in, and I think he's playing right now. Go up a little bit. Josh, I don't think is Josh Naylor playing today. He's still recovering from the wrist thing. Brandon Belt is high. If he's playing, he's a good look. Yeah, Kevin Biggio even being up here is wild. I know the game starts soon, but Lynn's main issue is against lefties. I would look at Biggio or Brandon Belt, but I'm rolling with Kutch. That's going to be my stream pick. Adam Duvall against the fastball. He's been kind of struggling, though. Have you guys noticed? Hasn't quite looked like the same Adam Duvall that we saw early on this season. Who else? Give me Kutch. Why not, Cohen? Why not? You like Kutch? You know what we need during these home run segments? We got to hear producer Cohen's home run pick. Who you rolling with? Who you rolling with? Get on screen for a second. We got to hear from producer Cohen. Who's his
I was gonna say Adley, but probably not. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Adley.
Adley?
I'm gonna go with Adley today.
I don't hate that. He'll probably hit a nuke off Severino.
Fucking Severino.
Yeah,
I'll go with Adley.
I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that one bit, producer Cohen. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kutch. He's hitting 1 yardo. Actually, he's leading off with a home run. If he's hitting leadoff. If he's not, he's just gonna hit it wherever he's at in the lineup. Luke Raley yesterday, bang. Andrew McCutchen today. Let's roll. Yeah, we'll do. We'll welcome on Cali Wager in 3 minutes. Let's just roll through some game sims and see anything that might be a little bit appetizing. What I will say is the model has been obsessed with the Marlins this entire series, and it has not strayed away. Still likes the Marlins again, and he got a little bit of line movement towards the Marlins. It's just so hard to sweep a team 4 in a row. If you scroll down a little bit of value on the Phillies. The issue is with the model, when you have an opener, which Sean Armstrong is, I just can never trust the model because it can't sim who's potentially going to come in. A lot of different factors at play here. Like it's showing value in the Phillies, and the Phillies are on an 11-game road winning streak, the second highest in franchise history. 2 more and they set the record, or I think 3 more and they set the record. I think 2 more and they tie it. We talked about on the Just Baseball show today how hot the Phillies have been. Lefty coming into Tampa. Hard for me to really go with the Phillies. But with that said, model is showing value on the Phillies. So if you like them, definitely not a bad bet. And I think on stream, people will be pitching Phillies in some form. So what I will say is that the model supports the Phillies today, but also really likes the under. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You say Dodgers Pirates? Yeah, might as well scroll down. Yeah, so here it is right now. It has the Dodgers winning. It's the Dodgers. They probably win. But plus 200 was too good to pass up. I think we even got a little bit of line movement on our side, producer Colin. You got a little bit of line movement. Let's go check the King of Sportsbooks BetMGM and let's see what they're hanging out for the people. Plus 185. Okay, moved down 15 cents, so I'm not such a moron. I'm not a crazy moron. GG Cubs. What else? What else kind of stood out to me on the model today? Well, the model likes Arizona. Liked him yesterday. Thanks a lot. It was kind of some fluke shit. It's called gambling. Get used to it. A couple people on St. Louis. Really? Interesting. So the model likes the Marlins again, but it's liked them all series. Model has a slight lean towards the Red Sox. I will say, though, the model loves Cutter Crawford. Loves him. I think it's shown value on Cutter Crawford starts every single time he's been on the mound. So there's something there. As you can see, Fenway Park is showing a lot of wind today. Pretty profitable towards overs. It's just tough. Eovaldi's returning back to Boston. Kind of a revenge narrative. I didn't really know what to play there, so that was a pass for me. What I will say is also some value on the Royals today. Now, I don't necessarily love that. Guardians could not score with runners in scoring position. More likely than not, they put up 70 runs today. That's just how baseball tends to happen sometimes. But again, a pass for me. But let's talk to Cali Wager. It's been a minute. Mr. California Wager. Good to see you. Where the hell you been?
anywhere and everywhere. Been to Vegas, been up in Tahoe a few times, been dealing with that family stuff as summer school is. We're not real yet as we're still in preschool. So dealing with that every day. And then obviously just, finishing up with College World Series stuff. It was a busy year. So, good times, but trying to get back as much as possible. I was ready last week, and then obviously we didn't quite have the stream to end the week. So, happy to be back and dig myself out of this early hole like many of us have already done.
Good to see you again, my man. Love chopping it up and talking ball with you. Again, we had Nick come back yesterday. I think he took a little bit of June off and then came back and led the stream in terms of units won yesterday. So we're expecting a big day, but at the same time, you and I are going up against each other. Let's start with those Dodgers and pitch the people why I'm a moron. Dodgers are blowing them out.
Well, all I can say is at least let's just pray it doesn't end with a Dodgers win by 1. Then at least one of us can win. At least one of us. As long as one of us are getting victorious, that's the goal. The Dodgers win by 1, then we then we know what we do. To me, I see this as, and I listened earlier and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. As much to me, this is a Dodgers opportunity offensively to try to take the series, really expand away, finish things off in terms of what feels like has been a good turn of events besides what the injuries have caused lately. Urias coming back is a great thing. I would expect, 65 pitches, maybe something like that. You would think, you wouldn't think 100 pitches would be even close to what you'd get from him tonight.
I'm thinking 80 to 85. That's
exactly. Yeah. And it depends on high stress situations or not. If he has a tough first or second inning, then, you might get him out of there early because it's not worth it. As you mentioned, between May and Kershaw, it's just, the Dodgers are hanging on by a thread right now with where they are, and another injury really set him back. But I think this is a spot where that offense has an opportunity to come through. In terms of the value, it really was a run line play or pass for me. The Pirates obviously dealing with their own offensive situation, injury-wise, with a bunch of star pieces missing. So I do think that they are going to need a decent start on their end. Unfortunately, only 8 at bats for the Dodgers, with the exception of, we got a 2 or 3 run jack to walk it off. But I do think offensively, LA has enough, and with the number, the market kind of forced me to make this a run line play. And as we've known from the past, the Dodgers are not a 1-run winning team for the most part. When they win, they're going to score, and I think that this is an opportunity for that this evening.
Was there anything that pointed you towards Dodgers team total? Are you confident in Urias enough to be like, yeah, I think he's going to pitch enough?
I'm not as big on Urias being the factor in it. I think that the offense gets enough that they handle business. I do definitely lean Dodgers team total over. But at the same time, with how things have gone major league wise, it's been just all over the place. I had the Rays team total over yesterday, and we're through 3 innings looking terrific, and look what happens from there. So things happen like that. For all we know, Urias does get back to that. He did finish right up there last season. He has been one of the best in the league. Obviously, the velo is a little bit down, but if he is able to get that spin rate back up, he is able to utilize that fastball like we've seen. I think that even if they get 5 out of him, the Dodgers able to put up a few, they can blow this thing open. And it does make me definitely lean on that team total side as well.
Fair enough. I do kind of hope it's Dodgers win by 7 or Pirates win, because them winning by 1 would be a disaster.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about it. If they're going to lose. I would never, ever advise someone to take a money line like that. But with how this team works, they're going to win by 4 or they're going to lose by 2. Yeah. It's just kind of how it is.
That's exactly, unfortunately, now 2 picks are not the same, but that's what Colby was talking about with the Tigers. He was either like, yeah, they're going to lose to the A's or they're going to blow them out. Kind of what happened today, right? A's beat the brakes off them yesterday. Tigers win 9-0. I feel like you're kind of in that boat where it's like, don't take them on the money line. They're either going to win by a lot or they're going to lose. And I'm betting on them to lose. I like plus 200. I mean, come on, 1 unit to win 2 units. Let's go.
Completely. And that's
you don't think the Dodgers were overvalued in this spot with the Urias coming back?
I do think they're overvalued in terms of the money line. But like I said, I don't think if they win this game, it's going to be by a run anyways. So I think getting it basically almost even seems about appropriate to me. Otherwise, hey, it's a straight loss. It is what it is. I'm not giving juice.
Fair enough. All right, let's move to play number 2.
Yeah, so I like, I like Uvalde coming back. I do like that factor of things. He's also having a really nice season. 10-3 with a 2.64, 0.99 WHIP. That says a lot. As somebody who pitched for a long time, you've got an under 1 WHIP. That says a lot to me. Obviously, on this side, Crawford 3-4 with a 3.77, and himself a 1.08 WHIP. So he's been fairly impressive as well. I just think that I've been on this Rangers team throughout the season. It's been one of the few teams that's consistently cashed in for me. They've done well on the road this year. I like offensively what they've done. They seem very mature in terms of how they've handled themselves on the road. And I think this is a really good matchup. Uvalde does have that little bit extra as well going back to Boston. And I do think this is a pretty good spot.
Yeah, this is an interesting game to me because I think the Red Sox appear to be potentially a sharper pick, but you're the first person I've heard on the Rangers. So it's like one of those sharp picks that everybody's on.
Yeah.
It's like one of those kind of picks. So I'm like, either everybody's going to win on the plus dog with the Red Sox, and there's also the win factor in, right? But you also have Eovaldi coming back, and I think a cool narrative is Eovaldi wanted to stay with Boston, and Boston never gave him the contract. So it's not like, for example, Jameson Taillon is going back to the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. It's going to be Cubs-Yankees this weekend. I don't think Jameson Taillon just took more money. I don't think he was like, I need to come back to New York. So that I don't think is a revenge factor. I think Eovaldi's going to be angry. Now, does that result in some really good pitches? His lines are a little bit weird. Hits prop very high, K's a little bit lower. I think that's more due to the wind because it's not like the Red Sox have been that impressive either. This was a complete pass for me. There's too many conflicting things, but it's interesting to hear on the Rangers. Producer Cohen, we got people on the Red Sox on the stream, right? Or no?
Yep.
Maybe not. We got some overs. That's it. So no, 2 overs. So no one's going against you on the Red Sox. I've just seen it everywhere, but you're the first person I've heard who's laying the juice with the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a good spot where you're finding a true personal side angle. I mean, you've got an opportunity where he is, motivated, like you said. He probably would have taken less money and wanted to stay with them. He's saying that he enjoyed, and Boston is a lifestyle. It is an atmosphere. Playing at Fenway is something so special. And I've been there a couple times, and I obviously never got to play there, but that whole environment, playing in the NL East, being a part of that, Boston environment is huge. And I think that obviously he'll be comfortable, and he will be motivated. So that is something that in what can be really, especially right now, the dog days of summer, finding, an edge and a motivational factor is something huge in my opinion.
We got Arm on the Rangers too. So we got 2 Rangers. So we'll hear his pitch, and if people like the Rangers, they go with the Rangers. If people like the Red Sox, they go with the Red Sox. But may the best man win. Callie, good to see you again. Glad to see you back. A little brief hiatus. We got to make up some units, my friend.
I got to get some plays in. I've only had like 30 plays this season.
We got to get to 100.
We'll get rolling. I'll try to be back at least a few times a week, if not every day.
That's my only chirp for Javon right now, because he's winning, so I have to chirp him for something. It's like, well, you got to get the plays up, and he will. I know he will. And I know you will too. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, have a great day.
You too, my friend.
See you.
So who we got? We got the Crabsinators. Oh shit!
What's up, boys? Back.
What's up? Back.
Back.
Ready to roll.
The Nats? How about the Nats right now? As Benson gets to second base on a double, I believe. Nice.
Hey, sure.
Just jinx that one. Okay. Well, Kyle Finnegan's pitching, so anything is possible.
What's the score right now?
Home runs.
What are we
3-2 Nats.
3-2
Nats. Top 7, I believe.
It was
Top
always
7.
Natitude.
Yeah. Shout out Alex Call. Chat. Hit one on the eyes. That was free.
Do you have any action on this game? Just Alex Call?
I have Nats ML. I broke my rule. I took them. Fuck it.
Okay.
I took Alex Call fantasy score. I begged them to put Stone Garrett up on Prize Picks. They did. He's 0-4, not doing anything. So that's caked. Lane Thomas already cashed fantasy score. So I need.
So you had actually so much action on this game.
Yeah, I had a ton of action.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't add more action. 100%. And I don't know why they started that game with all this rain coming.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Mackenzie Gore, I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Who's calling the shots up there?
And then Williamson stayed in, and Mackenzie Gore got the boot.
Yeah, and then now we have a Reds bunt single, I believe. Nice.
Sure.
W's.
W's.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Cut the shit.
All right.
Marlins.
Miami ML.
3.
Yuri Perez. Bounce back start. Okay. Look, Miami against St. Louis. Let's fade these bad teams. Let's fade the Cardinals. Let's fade the Mets. These teams do not deserve our coins. These teams continuously prove to us that they are losing organizations. At least right now, at least this season. The Mets forever. Okay. But let's take Miami. Let's fade the Cardinals after an absolutely heart-wrenching loss by that ridiculous throw from the pitcher to first base to cost them that game last night. I think that's not going to help this team. That's going to keep hurting this team who's already down. Their manager stinks. The MO could not be fucking worse in there. These guys are down bad, and they should be. And they got to face Yuri Perez coming off a bad start. He's going to bounce back and absolutely lock in. Love his fantasy score today too. Miami. Bet on them. They're not flashy, but they keep winning.
What do you think about my Nolan Gorman over 1.5 strikeout square?
I love it. I'm going to add that to my list. I'm going to take that and stuff.
Hell yeah. I actually went through it because I was like, damn, 1.5? I know he's been striking out a lot. And then I looked, I was like, holy shit, he's striking out, 1 out of every 3 at-bats this month, even more than that. And do you know his 4 biggest whiff pitches this year? Fastball, slider, curveball, change. What's Yuri Perez's arsenal?
I'm assuming all those pitches.
All those pitches.
Crazy.
Why not us? Also, one comment in from chat. Larry Beeman says Gore is confirmed scared of adversity.
Sure.
And from Capwise Nick, Gore is secretly the Wicked Witch of the West. Any comments?
Yeah, he was throwing in the bullpen during the delay. It was just too long. They couldn't put him out there. Not worth risking it. Can't have that guy get hurt. These are meaningless games.
So confirmed. Scared of adversity.
So yes, I could confirm he's scared of adversity. Yep. No, but he was actually trying to pitch, but it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Do you see your manager? You see Davey Martinez. He was like, we think Ellie De La Cruz is great, but we don't like his antics when he hits a home run.
Yeah. And I talked about on BTL today how Davey Martinez has some pretty crazy antics too that he's had on the field recently when he's lined out on home plate being a freaking little kid in a grown-up's body. Do
you know Billy Martin?
Yeah.
You know who that is? Yeah, he's got some Billy Martin in him. Billy Martin fired 6 times by George Steinbrenner and Riyadh.
Yeah. A Davey Martinez, ship manager, not an X's and O's guy, does not know how to run a bullpen to save his life. But he's a great players coach, and he cares. And he
cares. That's what he does. I can guarantee you. Say whatever you want about him. Freaking cares. We got more play. Oh, what happened?
Joey Votto just hit a fucking single.
What does that mean?
Joey Votto owns the Nats. That's what it means. And the game's tied 3-3. Okay. Also, side note, Brandon Belt, more than 1.5 strikeouts. You pair that with your Nolan Gorman, and you have maybe the weirdest prize pick slip ever. Let's go to cash. All right. I'm taking that.
Boston.
Mets ML, we move Boston, Texas over 10. Fade Navaldi. I'm fading the heck out of his fantasy score, and I'm fading him against his old team here. He's been too good. That opener was crazy, minus 120 for Texas in this spot. And we saw the total open up at 9.5. I thought that total was high as it was, with Eovaldi pitching in this game. And then it moves up to 10 with less than 50% of bets and handle. Okay. Runs are going to be scored in Boston tonight, without a doubt, from both sides, because you got Cutter Crawford also pitching, who stinks. He's been better recently. He has, but that guy's a walking trash can on the mounds. I want to fade the heck out of him. Ollie, I'm sorry if you're listening to this. Put earmuffs on. Fade the heck out of that guy. Back the offenses, both sides in this game. I don't know who wins. I do think Boston wins, but I'm not betting it. That's too sharp. That's forced. That's last year Krabs. This year Krabs, smart, baseball brain, take the over. Both offenses, loaded, good matchups, plenty of runs in Fenway tonight.
So I feel like you're feeling pretty good, because normally you come on and you give 3 plays. You're like, fade them. You're saying take my plays today.
Well, I did full fade yesterday on my big 3. So that's huge. I didn't come on here. I mean, that could change everything for the leaderboards, which we don't need to show them, but that could change everything. Those 9
units. Definitely do not show the leaderboard. Don't.
I thought we agreed we had a different one up there for me to put up. with it cropped on the bottom where it was zoomed in a little bit more, where you just barely couldn't see me. Nope, that's not it. Good try though. Let's work on getting that graphic back up there. I like that one a lot more. Okay.
It's a good one.
Runs in Fenway, on to play 3.
All right.
Arizona ML, this is BTL squad ride.
Okay.
Have to take it and have to fade the Mets.
Yeah.
I mean, do we even have to talk about that? Do you want to?
You know what's my one worry? So remember when the D-backs got beat up by the Rays? Remember when they like gave up that walk-off? They responded like shit. They responded horribly after that bad walk-off. And I just remember that so clearly because I was on the D-backs in that game. I was like, they're going to bounce back. They scored 1 run off Yanni Chirinos. You saw what the Phillies did to them. Like, that's not any good.
Yeah.
And then you have Ryan Nelson, too. I didn't bet the Mets. I was just like, I got to see this Diamondbacks team fight through some adversity before I put money on them after a tough loss. Were you?
So you're saying they don't fight through adversity, not Mackenzie Gore.
I'm saying both of them. I'm saying both of them aren't fighting adversity.
Well, Mackenzie Gore is trying to fight Victor Robles in the dugout. Does that count? He tried that earlier this year. It was like Papelbon and Harper round 2. People forget Papelbon actually choked Bryce Harper
him out,
pinned him against a wall. It was like scary and loud, and like people had to break him up.
Yeah, in this day and age in baseball, Gore versus Robles was like a thing, and I think they just like talked louder than normal. Like the brawls, there are no brawls anymore. It's just
Victor Robles turned around and said one thing, and everyone's like, "Holy shit!" It's like the baseball fights now.
Gore was like, "Why did you catch that?" And Victor Robles was like, "My bad," and it like made the front page of every newspaper in America.
Robles is like, "My leg is fucked," and then he goes on the IL because his leg was fucked. Crazy how that works. Arizona ML. Whenever Corbin Carroll is up there on Prize Picks for total bases, the D-backs score 1 million runs. I'm not scared.
Fair enough.
Runs,
I definitely lean the D-backs. Model likes the D-backs. I lean them for sure too.
Model likes the D-backs. Okay.
You don't like the model?
Me and the model, it's love-hate. Love-hate relationship.
I see what you're saying. It's just
it just
adds.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely. It just adds a little bit of confidence.
Sure.
It's just small edges stacking on top of each other. That's all it is.
Okay, good. Hey, if it hits, it hits.
If it hits, it hits.
The model likes it. Let's fucking ride, model.
So we're going D-backs ML.
Yeah.
We're going Marlins ML.
Yeah.
And we're going the over in Boston.
3 plays, 3 winners, 3 units each. Try saying that 3 times fast.
How about a 9-unit day from Krabs?
How about a Nats fucking win?
Yeah.
How about a Nats win? Yeah, W leaderboard. And it's also bigger so people can see it way easier too, because people complain about that all the time in chat. I've been reading it. This is the better one right here, guys. This is the one you want. I don't even deserve to be up there, Pete. You know it.
No, I genuinely think if you had been playing your card instead of doing the 1 play 3 unit, you would not be in the position you were in. I kept telling you just wouldn't listen to me.
Look, the 1 play 3 unit hurt me when I lost a bet every single day for a month when I came on here. That definitely stung. Losing 25 units.
But then you would I would see your card, you'd win other bets. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I know that too. I'm me. I know. I was there.
You are you.
It sucked. But I think if I go below that 40 unit mark that I lost last year, people forget. If I go below that in this contest, I'm probably out of here.
No.
I'm probably retiring. Yeah.
It's a revenge story. It's a revenge story.
Just letting you know now.
We need a big day out of you to keep you in straight.
Okay.
Grab
Chad, make sure you fade these. But I am coming in off a reverse fade, so maybe actually these might hit.
Any Prize Pick square just for the people? I know you were looking at.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? You were naming a bunch.
What's
your favorite?
Evaldi less than 30.5 fantasy score. He's going to get destroyed tonight. Absolutely.
Evaldi less than 30.5. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
It's low.
Get after it.
It's low for a reason. All right, guys, take care. Good luck tonight. Peace.
Hey, take care. We'll talk to him. All right, who we got next? We got Catboys Nick coming off the best day on stream out of anybody. Nice little day for you. How are you?
I'm doing well, Peter. How are you?
That's what a nice little break does for the mental. Just come back fresh and just come back winning. Good shit.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rejuvenated. You know, we're not getting cocky. We got a little hole to dig out of. We're just playing it slow and steady.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly. So it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is, in fact. Let's start with play number 1.
So this is a game that it looks like we've got a couple people on, but not in the same way that I'm on it. So, and the Pirates and Dodgers game. I know you're on the Pirates. I know we had Callie earlier on the Dodgers run line. Give me the first 5 over. in this
I like
game.
it.
Yeah, so I think that both of these pitchers have very, very, very significant downsides. So Urias, I know you're on the Pirates. You're probably at least a little skeptical of Urias today, coming off the IL, coming off a terrible start, honestly, against the Royals. In his first start off the IL, also gave up 6 earlier this year to the Pirates. Pirates aren't like a particularly good offense, but just with the way that Urias is pitching, I think that there's some upside for the Pirates offense today, and just a lot of downside from Urias. And then on the flip side, it's kind of the same deal with Oviedo. Just a pitcher with a lot of downside, a Dodgers offense that seems like it's heating up. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we get 5 just out of one of these teams, just like 5-0 somebody.
Could we get it from the Pirates?
After 5. I'd love it.
Yeah, I'm actually, because you capped this game, obviously.
Yeah, and I do. If I'm on a side here, I'm definitely on the Pirates.
We like to hear that. A mustached, back from break, hot Nick. And he likes the Pirates?
Peter, you have a girlfriend. You can't be talking to me like that.
Well, sometimes I have to. You've earned it. You've earned it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Pick number 2.
Pick number 2. Give me the Guards. The GABA Guards -1.5 today. I know I was looking at Ballpark Pal model. This is a game that your model and my model kind of strongly disagree on here. I love the value on Cleveland at home, -1.5 at -110. Jordan Lyles, atrocious, probably the worst pitcher who still has a job in the bigs this year. Would you agree with that statement? I mean, he's definitely up there.
No, Waino was worse.
Well, Waino's hurt now.
Yeah, Gomber at home is worse. Manoa.
Yeah, well, I mean, but yeah, Manoa doesn't have a job right now. I guess he's coming back.
Then Lyles.
Yeah, I mean, you think of like Jose Urania, but now he got DFA'd or whatever.
Nelson Lamet.
Yeah, but like, is he starting?
I think he's just signed with the Red Sox. You know that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
but there'll be good value on whoever's playing the Red Sox in a couple days.
But the fact that it's hard to find some guy, yeah, you're in a good spot.
Yeah. So yeah, Lyles is really bad. And I really like the way that Bibee is pitching for Cleveland. He looks good. Had 9 Ks, no runs in his last start on the road in Chicago, taking on the Cubs. Also like that we have. It's not like a crazy travel spot, but Guardians starting a new series at home. Royals traveling from Minnesota. It's like it's about as easy of a travel spot as it gets, but it is still a travel spot. I just think everything lines up here for the Guardians offense to perform well, for Bibee to perform well. So give me Guards by 2.
Yeah, you're playing a good system here too. It's I think it's like playoff contenders from last year after a bad game. I think cover the run line at near a 55-ish% rate.
That sounds like such a convoluted stat.
Yeah,
I'm happy it's in my favor.
I know that's like there's plenty of systems. I think that's just a system that would point to the Guardians.
There's like nothing I hate more. Not that this is that, but when you've got teams with a backup shortstop who's like 4th letter and his middle name is W and his uncle fought in World War II.
This one is simple though. It's just a playoff team from last year coming off a game losing 6 or more. Take them on the run line. That's reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. Play number 3. Oh, we're done.
Only 2 plays.
2 plays, 2 winners. It's a tough slate today. Would you agree?
It is. Yeah, I was doing my stream earlier, and we just go game by game. I talk about the model, talk about like my leans in the game before establishing what the card is. And there was like half of the games today was just like, stay away from this game. Stay away from this game. This is sketchy. Yeah. This is sketchy. This is sketchy. There's no edge here. There's nothing.
What'd you think about that Rangers Red Sox game? I thought that one was nuts. I couldn't get a read.
Yeah. I think that's a weird one too. I mean, it's the Eovaldi revenge spot, which is, I mean, questionable. It can go in either direction, really. I think model had like a very, very, very slight lean on the Rangers. I threw up the Rangers ML as my lean on the stream, but definitely not something I was really considering actually putting my own money on.
Couldn't agree with you more. So you got the Pirates versus the Dodgers first 5 over.
Yep.
And you got the Guardians by 2 or more.
Absolutely.
Nick,
let's get it.
Appreciate you, my friend. Keep winning. How about another 2-0 day?
Let's hope. I honestly,
just a 9-run 3rd inning from the Pirates.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it. You know what I hate, Peter?
What?
I hate having like only 2 plays, because you need to go 2-0 to make money. And like I know EV wise it's the same as having 3 plays or 4 plays or however many plays.
Yeah.
But there's just like a mental thing. I'm like
true.
sitting here kind of wishing I submitted only 1 play or found a 3rd play.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I don't really ever worry about the amount of plays. When I see a significant enough edge backed by my baseball brain, I just play it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't worry. It
too.
could be 1 play. It could be 5 plays. It's just whatever the board gives, I take it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No,
Yesterday,
absolutely. I completely agree.
Yesterday I played 5 plays, got a push because of a rainout and lost 4. I'm just donated yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely donated.
Well, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes.
You just got to take more donations than you give.
Yes, absolutely. Nick, appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Yep. See you tomorrow, Peter.
All right. Who we got? Degen is about to come on. Absolute W. Anything in the comments that we gotta? 0-2, down 2 units. I'm not him from producer code. Crabs to guarantee if you don't tell us play. I don't know what's going on there. Pirates Dodgers first 5 over. I have 7 units on it. What? That's a lot of units. 7. Krabs is walking into a trap. Anyone that follows him will be gobbled up. What do you mean by that? Everyone's fading Krabs, huh? Being mean to my good friend. Any other questions anybody's got before we welcome on to Jen? What am I supposed to do when Peter calls me hot? You just take it, Nick. You just sit there and take it. That was weird. That was weird. Where the hell? Well, we're 8-10 minutes early, so that's why. Oh, true. True. And here he is. Degen. What's up, man?
Wow. How you doing?
Doing amazing.
I'm great.
Mean, could be better. I got absolutely destroyed yesterday. Did you see the Guardians Braves over? I mean, what a disaster.
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw the Braves jump out 4 runs just like that. I was like, wow, I guess that one was that easy. Cal Quantrill just doesn't have it figured out this year, and then that was bad. I heard him even talking about it on VSiN this morning too. They were comparing all the hits, all the base runners compared to all the other games that went over. That's a bad beat, Pete. I got to say, and listen, I'm not happy to see you lose by any means, but last year, I don't recall you getting many bad beats. I feel like you're not getting the bounces this year.
It's yes. No, but it's like it's been there all in a row, right? Like it's like, for example, that happened as the Diamondbacks game. Diamondbacks got out to a lead 3-2, 2 outs. Francisco Alvarez ties it up in the 9th, and the Mets end up winning. I was on the Diamondbacks too. It's just been this 4-week stretch where every loss feels like a bad beat. So it's just mentally draining. If they were spread out over the season, I could deal with it. But they all have to be within this 4-week stretch, like all of them.
No, I know what you mean. It sucks, man. I'm telling you, baseball is a fucking grind.
Right.
But, I mean, obviously, you know it too. But yeah, that's the problem is like you lose sleep over this with the bad beats, and it has a lot to do with the bullpens.
It's more for me, like, and I'm not trying to be a complainer. For some reason, talking about it makes me feel better. And it's not me complaining. It gets it out of my system.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, I spend like the first hour of my morning, like just looking back on all the games. I do this with every sport too.
Yeah.
I look back on all the games and I go through and I look at how it lost. I'll go through like play by play, inning by inning, like pitch by pitch sometimes too. Like I needed one more K from Patrick Sandoval. He was in an 0-2 count to Fernando Tatis. 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, fouled off 5 pitches, base runner, and then that was it for him. But anyways, it's fun. It's fun. That's the point. That's why you got to bet, within your means and not get in a hole. So you can at least the losses are the best stories you're gonna have. You know what I mean? You're gonna never forget these losses. It's great.
That's a good point. The worst part of gambling for me is bad beats. Losses, I'm like fine with. Like if I just bad read loss, bad beats, they get in my head. It's the bad beats, but that's just me.
Nobody's safe. All right. First play, I got to tell you, I don't like this card. I don't like my plays. But you know what? Maybe it's okay that I don't like my plays.
Maybe you
sometimes
should.
I know. Yeah, I had a card of like 9 picks, not this week, but last week, and I really liked them. And I remember looking at my Action Network, and I mean, I was staring 0-9 in the face. I got out of there like 3-6. But yeah, so I don't like my plays tonight. I don't like the board tonight. And then hopefully these will. That's how you go into it. You don't like it, and you get the results you want. But Boston, Texas over. It's just kind of right up my alley. I feel like I have to play it. Yesterday was one of those days. I think the first game in this series actually went from 9.5 to 10.5. Yesterday, I don't think it went a full run, but I still think the over was fairly sharp. I forget exactly what the line ended up doing, but really hasn't even gotten close in either of these first 2 games. One thing I have to remember, one thing I have to keep telling myself is Boston is a stadium, I guess. And I learned this last year. I think actually Cam's Money told me about it, but the Red Sox get respect, even when they're not very good. They get respect. So their lines aren't as fishy as you think they are. They get respect in Fenway, and Fenway's a pretty good over park. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it's one of the best ones right now in baseball.
No doubt. It's one of the smallest ballparks in baseball, and when there's wind blowing out, that's why the total is so high. I just felt it was way too high, which maybe means something, but like, I think if they were playing this on a neutral field, this would be an 8 or an 8.5. I think they over adjusted, and people know that the wind is going, but again, it could soar. I didn't bet on the under.
Are you on this under?
I know I'm not on this game at all.
Oh,
I'm not on this game at all. That's just how I read it in the morning. I was like, Eovaldi revenge game.
Yeah.
Cutter's been good, not great. Yeah. Bullpens are kind of lined up because they got some length yesterday. 10, maybe it just goes over. This was one of those ones where I was like, no matter what I play, it feels wrong to me personally.
Yeah,
because I was like, I ain't playing the under, but like,
no, I know this is going to be one where I didn't want to get involved, and I'm going to be sitting. This is just how I like envision it, right? You fast forward, try to play it out in your head of what happens, and I felt like if I stay off this game, I feel like this is going to be the ones where it's like 5-3 in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it easily could be.
And, in that case, it's like, well, why don't you play the first 5 over? I got to tell you, I need a break from first 5s because I'm not picking the right spots. I'm not picking the right spots in first 5s. But, yeah, it's, that's really what it comes down to for me. But I agree. Eovaldi of revenge game, he's been pretty good. That did kind of scare me a little bit because I'm not necessarily trying to fade Eovaldi. But
you just said yesterday you're a dog guy.
I am a dog guy. I'm a big
dog guy.
But I will tell you, you know who's got dog in him?
Don't say Cutter Crawford.
No.
Okay. No.
Alex Verdugo. And I feel I'm playing.
I do like him.
Yeah, I'm playing his
I'm a Yankee fan and Red Sox. Like, I like him. Like, he's.
Yeah, somebody in the comments said team total hurts so fucking bad. I'll tell you, I need a team total break too, man. I need a cheeky break from these baseball plays. But anyways, I am playing. I'm playing Verdugo bases, and I thought to myself, I was like, a revenge game for a guy like Nathan Eovaldi is definitely something I can lean into. But I just don't know if it's on the road in Fenway against a Red Sox offense that has kind of struggled since it's gotten back from its sweep in Toronto, and it just got a really good performance out of Brian Bayo, who has been stellar this year. It's incredible. What I've come to realize.
Absolutely.
So you know what, man? I don't think they're going to follow it up with a stinker. I think they're going to. I think both teams get runs. I think I lean the Red Sox in this one. So I kind of doubled down a little bit. I played the full game over, and I played on Verdugo bases. So yeah, that's it for me there. It dropped to 9.5. You're kidding me, bud, man.
Let me see.
Oh, son of a bitch! I hope he's not just telling me that to get me fired up.
Exactly. 9.5 -1.
Oh my god, terrible. All right, well
I mean, dude, every single one of my bets moved yesterday in my direction. Guess how many won?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day,
it's like before the bet, you want to see the line move towards the direction, right? I'm on the Pirates plus 200. It has now been bet down to plus 185
to win tonight.
To win tonight, to beat Julio Urias and the Dodgers.
Oh, that's funny you say that. It's not an official pick, but I'm on Urias strikeouts, and I think
over
strikeouts. I think we get a nice pitcher's duel. I think we get a low scoring game, but in that sense, I would lean taking the underdog there.
Plus 200. I was just like, the Dodgers are minus 240 because Urias is on the mound and it's the Dodgers. But like, remember the Pirates always play the Dodgers tough.
The only thing I would tell you, you're so right about that. And I remember the Krabs legacy performance. Krabs was hitting the Pirates last year for like 5 units to beat the Dodgers when like contrarian plays were. That's probably the last time contrarian plays were hitting in baseball. But I'm not, do you see this total? It's down to 8.5 and the under's juiced. I think we got a sleepy game from the bats, but honestly, that could bounce your way. So I'm not taking the Dodgers by any means, but I like the pitchers and I like the under. But that's not my play. I am on an under for my second play. I only submitted 2. Let's see. Did I take the first 5 of the full game? Oh, I took the first 5 under. Yeah.
Oh, so you're sick in the head still.
You know, Pete, I just was on this camera telling you and everybody in here that I'm taking a break from the first 5.
You and Major the same thing. You and Major do the same thing. What you'll do is like in your first pick, you're like, oh, I got burned here. Next pick, well, I'm back to it.
Yeah, I know. I'm being a hypocrite here. But this is, in my opinion, the the way I can get nasty in this game, in my opinion, is kind of backing, I think, Jack Flaherty, who I am also playing his over Ks. I think we get a good Jack Flaherty game, and I'm backing Yuri after he couldn't get out of the what was it, the first or second inning against the Braves.
Braves.
But it is the Braves, so there's kind of an asterisk in that appointment or in that showing, in my opinion. So I need a break from first 5. Shut up, clam mucker. So yeah, I will. I will. Yeah, I guess I'll eat that one on being a little bit of a hypocrite. But I don't know what I think about Jack Flaherty. I don't know if he off the field, is he a cool dude? Is he a douchebag? Is he kind of like on the field? I know he was kind of a promising prospect. I don't really know what's happened to him since, but I do remember after he got some reporters in his face, and there was a viral video going on Twitter after they were kind of asking about the struggles. I want to say it was maybe after a game in Wrigley. He came back and he pitched really well. I just kind of think we've seen a lot of runs in this series. I feel like today is the sleepy game, and it's also a game where I like the Cardinals again with these. When we get later in the series, and I like the unders in these. I really don't mind playing the dog. But I can't back the Cardinals with how they just continue to lose games. So I'm going to take the under for, what was it, -105? Yeah, it sucks. BetMGM. I like BetMGM. Don't get me wrong, but there was a 4.5 on FanDuel that I took advantage of. But for the contest's sake, I'm going to stick with it at 4 -105.
Just to add a little bit of context to the Jack Flaherty thing. So he was taken out of a high school near me, and we played him in high school. I swear he was the greatest athlete I've ever played against. He's the fastest on the field.
Right?
He was playing shortstop. He was the best hitter on either side, and he was throwing 92 on the mound. He was a freak. He looked like a major league player in high school. Then he goes to the bigs and has a great season. I think it was back in 2019. Top prospect, like great pitcher, has just gone injured, and the command isn't there. The stuff is still good. It's just he has not been able to command it within the zone, and his control has lost him. So it's a lot of sliders. It's like he's like one of those guys, if you saw earlier in the season, I think he threw like a 1-hitter or a no-hitter through 6 innings and had like 6 walks. Like his stuff is good. And I kind of agree with you. I kind of lean the Cardinals just because it's so hard to sweep a 4-game series. But at the same time, like, do you know how many leads? The Cardinals have played 86 games this year. Do you know how many leads they've blown?
No, I don't.
27.
Oh, my God.
27 in 86 games. Like,
I'm telling you right now, I'm ready to pull the trigger whenever they fire their manager. But yeah, I am. I'm looking at Jack Flaherty's recent performances. So this is what I like. He had a nice 3-game stretch where he allowed 1 earned run, 1 earned run, and 0. And then he followed allowing 6 back-to-back against the Giants and the Nats. And then his recent performance was July 1st against the Yankees. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs. I think I don't think it's a zigzag here. I think he stays consistent and gets one more good performance. Now, I say that, and this is where, like, sometimes I'm finding I have pretty good reads overall in the season, picking the wrong spots. So I'm really leaning into Jack Flaherty here in the Cardinals. Well, what happens if the fucking Cardinals score 6 runs on Yuri Perez? Then I'm an idiot for playing it the wrong way. That's why baseball is such a bitch. But I do love it. So anyways, I think that's all I'm on, right? I was going to play that first 5 under in the Dodgers. I elected not to, but I like I told you, I'm just going to play Urias over Case.
Fair enough, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. All right. We got Lid Lager coming on next. Another dub for DeGen. Still in the green, baby. Let's keep it rolling.
Still in the green. Let's do it. Good luck, Pete.
Atta babe. Talk to you. Okay, we got the Lager. What's up, brother? How are you?
Talk about baseball being a bitch.
Yeah.
Taiwan Walker threw 3 innings.
Yeah.
4 earned runs allowed, 2 strikeouts. And then the motherfucker turns into Randy Johnson. And that's baseball, brother. Because goddamn, that's frustrating.
This is the worst and the best sport all rolled into one. It's like so horrible that it's amazing.
It could just turn so quickly. For example,
you bet every other sport. Is there anything as fluky as baseball, in your opinion?
Everything's as fluky as baseball, but just baseball has the biggest sample size.
Yeah, so you're saying that you think there's as much fluke stuff in every other sport.
Absolutely.
Baseball is every day. Okay.
People just fucking hate baseball because they're so frustrated with it because they suck at it because it's a very patient game. I mean, look at the contest. We've been sucking ass.
Yeah.
And that's the majority of just baseball gambling and baseball bettors in general. For example, I bet the Washington Commanders total team under 22.5 one game this year against the Texans. They scored 23 because they scored a pick 6 and a 2-point conversion for the fuck of it at the end of the game. Their offense didn't do it, but their defense scored. Fluke shit. It's the way it goes. It's just the way things happen. If you remember, not gambling advice. I don't take it from me. There was a game. It was the Jaguars versus the Chiefs. The Jaguars getting 9.5. Do you recall that game at all? Kind of mid-season, latter parts of the season.
Jaguars against Chiefs?
Yeah, Jaguars getting 9.5 in Arrowhead. A lot of people. I think you might have been on that because a lot of people I know were on that.
They lost by 10.
I think they lost by 9, like a dirty backdoor cover. No.
I know. I was on. No. It was 10.
Was
Jaguars
it 10
plus 10?
Okay.
Moved down to 9.5. Chiefs won by 10. I'm like almost.
God.
I remember I was watching it on the bus, and I'm like, this is the worst push ever. I remember that. I feel like that happened. I could be wrong. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was 27-17. But
yeah, so fluke shit. It was 27-10. The Chiefs stopped giving a fuck. The desperate Jaguars just wanted to fucking throw the ball, and they let them score. Fluke shit. It's a perfect example. But there's only 17 games. That was my point, right? I mean, they were covering by double digits easily. They stopped playing in the defense. They stopped caring. It's like when you take a live, like an over under, and they throw in a position player to fucking under. That's happened to everybody, or it's helped people to hit the over. It's just a sample size. So it's frustrating. It's awesome. It's just baseball.
It's just baseball, my friend. Shout out to Jen subbing at tier 1. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you supporting. We just got a prize picks today from Lidley.
I do. I had good money on Michael Lorenzen today. Oh, if you want to recap my morning play, Michael Lorenzen over 17.5 pitching outs. I loved it this morning. They pulled him at 60 pitches through 5 innings because they're gonna fucking trade him, and he's completely healthy, and he was dominant. At one of his over 4.5 Ks were one of the most popular Ks this morning. He had 4 through 3 innings, and then they got pulled for no fucking reason other than gonna trade him, and he's gonna be healthy. That's just gambling, man. It is what it is.
That is horrific.
It is. I mean, it's not. It didn't help my bank account at all. But if we dwell on it, we don't learn. But there's nothing to learn there.
It's just you got screwed.
You got screwed. Anyways, just prize picks today. So I don't have much else to say on Jack Flaherty other than kind of what DJen talked about. The line is pretty. It is obviously interesting. You know, the Cardinals are awful. The Yuri Perez, everyone expects him to bounce back, which I don't disagree with to an extent against the after he just got blown up by the Braves. Which, to be fair, everyone gets blown up by the Braves. But Jack Flaherty, he has. Do you know his xFIP against right-handed pitchers or right-handed batters this year?
No, tell me.
Like 3.3, pretty good.
Very
I mean, especially considering Jack Flaherty and how we all consider that he sucks this year. But his strikeout percentage against right-handed batters this month is 28.7%. I like that. And his strikeout line today on Prize Picks is the highest I've seen in the past 3 starts against the Marlins team that doesn't strike out. That being said, his fantasy score for being a dog with an over under 8, I think he pitches pretty well today. And him pitching pretty well, I think, equates to strikeouts. The Marlins only have 3 lefties in the lineup, and I like the whiff potential that the Marlins have at the bottom of the lineup there. So I really like it at 5.5. Interesting to me also. It opened at -130 to the under on BetMGM. It's now not -130. It's now seeing juice to the over. So I like that movement as well. I don't know how many people are betting Jack Flaherty over Ks against the Marlins. So that's respected money, I think, and I want to be on that side as well.
Good shit, my friend. And Severino?
Oh man, this takes some big nuts to play this. I don't have him. I'm just stupid. But but Severino, that guy has been a garbage can this year. His expected numbers are actually worse than his actual numbers. But what I do like about this play is, do you know who starts tomorrow for the Yankees? You do know. Tell me.
It's not
his
Cole.
First start this year.
First start this year. Who's starting tomorrow for the Yankees?
After that contract in the offseason.
Oh, Rodon, duh. For some reason, we even went over the weekend games. I swore it was Saturday. He's starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, or at least scheduled to. So with that being
Saturday, but yeah,
all good.
Yeah.
So that being said, along with the fact, can you tell me the number one bullpen in usage since Sunday?
New York Yankees.
The New York Yankees, by far.
They've been awesome though. They've
been. I love the Yankees bullpen. I don't like fucking. Is it Cordero? Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I think yes. Okay, fuck that guy. So that being said, so they lost one of their better arms. They're the highest used bullpen, and they have Carlos Rodon starting tomorrow. They're gonna let Severino get his dick hit off tonight. I think he goes 6 innings, 5 earned runs allowed, but I don't think he pitches poorly, to be honest. So this is again one of those spots where I think every game in the series so far has soared over or has hit the over. And again,
close.
we have we see the two worst expected pitchers with still an 8.5 total with the money on the over. That catches my eye. And the Orioles only being a -130 favorite against an awful Severino. And that tells me that he's gonna pitch decent today. And if he pitches decent, he's going to go as far as he can take him because they're not going to want to pull him early unless he really gives up 6 or 7 runs in 3 innings. I don't see that happening, so I like him to get at least 17 pitches out today. If not a quality start, or get at least 6 innings pitched. So
good stuff. No, I like both of these plays. I think it's a good entry.
Yeah, it's not pure baseball reasoning. I watched the rest of the broadcast yesterday after I got off from work. And, you listen to Aram and Colby, like pure baseball brains, and listen to someone almost like DGen and kind of myself, where it's more lines. It's very interesting. So you hear the kind of how both sides are understanding the game and reading the game. For example, the Angels over. It made complete sense stats-wise and baseball reasoning-wise. It just happened to go under. It's just one of those things. But your sample, your guys' show at Just Baseball provides a lot of that. The variety information. Absolutely.
Like straight up gamblers who are based on lines.
Yeah.
And you hear really smart baseball people talk about the intricacies of the exact game.
Mm-hmm.
What I try and do is I try to combine, because I bet on the NFL. Like I consider myself a good gambler regardless. And I try and combine both. And that's what makes stuff actionable for me in baseball. When I can read the line and then it's backed up by baseball, that's when I make my picks. Now, they haven't been hitting this season. I'm like up 1 unit on game picks this season.
And that's we call that natural regression to the mean, right? Last year, 40, 50 units for yourself?
Yeah, exactly. An amazing year.
And again, look at Cal Quantrill, for not to be a dick, but last year, it's just regression to the mean. Just regression to the mean. That's all I'm saying.
No, shit happens.
It doesn't happen after in a month, a week, 2 weeks, sometimes 6 years, but it'll happen.
Absolutely.
But it's not pure baseball reasoning for this play, but it's a lot of gambling reliance that tells me things should go my way, and I'm hoping they will.
Atta baby, good stuff. We'll talk to you soon.
Brother.
All right, later.
Till next time. All right, brother.
Appreciate you. All right, who we got on next? We got on Arm Layton. Arm Layton went head to head with Big Whale Balls yesterday. How'd that end up going? Oh, goats are muted.
We got rescheduled, so. Unfortunately, no. I was really looking forward to seeing how it goes. I was wrong on the under, so that missed. So I was in trouble if it didn't get rescheduled. If this game, it's happening right now. Actually, the White Sox, Jays game, it's looking like an under right now. So I had. What did we have in that one? We had Lance Lynn and the White Sox. So we'll see how it goes. But. If that one still loses, I know the parlay won't hit for him, but I actually never saw the bet slip from Big Whale Balls either.
Yeah, and I had the same thing in chat too. It was like this guy's like, "Oh, I'm just fading all these people. It's been I'm up so much," and I said, "Perfect. Send me how much." And he's like, "I can send you how much, bookie." It happens the same thing. Like I get tagged on Twitter whenever I lose like 15 times. I was like, "Hey Pete, thanks for the free fades, my man."
Yeah,
and I just stopped commenting because I would always comment. I used to, and I'd be like, "Show me the slip." And I'll respect it. Never.
love it.
I just like, you're all full of shit.
If you cash it
You're all
on the
morons.
fade, like hell yeah, dude, that's a flex on me. Like that's like dunking on me, like flex on me. But if you're just gonna say it to like try to be a dick and then not actually do it, then like I don't care.
Yeah, it's hard to.
But doesn't look good. So he should have sent the slip. Could have made an extra couple bucks, man. Like I'm not trying to fight and prove I'm a good bettor. I'm just trying to say if you're gonna talk shit, back it.
Yeah,
Big whale
that's
balls.
it. Yeah,
Turns
if
out
you can talk shit and you got a slip and it's like a ton of money or even a little bit amount of money, and you faded.
Yeah, it could have been $10
Respect
bet. I
to you.
respect the fuck out of it. We don't
A
unit
dollar
shame.
bet. It could be a
We don't-
$10,000 bet. It could be a dollar bet. If you faded it and put money down, good for
Bro,
you.
could you imagine if it was like a $5,000 bet and he sends me the slip? I would have disappeared. I'm not sending him 5Gs. No way.
Rangers money line.
Rangers money line. So this is the first one here of two picks. I like more than yesterday's picks, not just because one lost and one got postponed, but I felt like I forced it a little bit yesterday. I'd been off for a while and wanted to get involved, but these two I really like. I thought about going a higher unit here, but honestly, this is a lot to win one unit here at -140. But there's the analytical side of it, and then there's the like narrative that I love as well. I'll start with Cutter Crawford, which we've kind of broken this down in a bunch of different ways as to why I think Cutter Crawford is not that good. He's turned in some decent starts and has kind of solidified himself as one of the arms that they can like not be totally screwed with every fifth day. But the last two starts, 4 home runs, and specifically against the Jays, a lot of loud contact, got away with it. I don't even need to look at trends here, though, in terms of what he's done in the last couple starts. I'm just looking at how he fits into this matchup here. Righties demolish Cutter Crawford because he is mostly a cutter guy and likes to try to bore it in on lefties. 7 righties in this lineup today, if you count switch hitters, of course. But even if you remove the switch hitters, I think it would be actually 6 today. But I feel like when you look at home versus road splits here, so at home, at Fenway, this dude has a 5.4 ERA, a 4.63 FIP. This is a home game for him as well against righties, and this should be a predominantly righty lineup overall.
But then you have some pretty damn good lefties, right? Like Corey Seager, Nathaniel Lowe, Leody Taveras. Those are like your lefties.
Exactly. Hold on. Let me switch over to the handedness. Yeah. So versus righties, a 5.00 FIP, 10 hits per 9. So, the lefties in the lineup are some of their best hitters, and then the righties, I think, will take care of business. I think they went relatively righty heavy, except for a couple switch hitters, but even then, I think switch hitters will be fine against him. Stark differences, though. We're talking about a 30% K rate against lefties versus a 17% K rate against righties, which is nuts. But specifically home versus road splits, pretty dramatic. Go to the other side, narrative-based. Nate Eovaldi, he wanted to come back to Boston, man. They just put out a piece on this. He wanted to come back to Boston, and they didn't offer him a deal. They pretty much pulled the offer. He tried to do everything he could. It was just in the Boston Globe, and I think he's going to pitch pretty pissed off. He had a couple bad starts for his standards and then came back and shoved against a really good Astros team. He was really good at Fenway also, when he pitched there last year. I think this is an opportunity for him to kind of follow up a really good start against the Astros and shove it up the Red Sox ass when they didn't pay him. He's comfortable pitching there. This Red Sox lineup has kind of slowed down a bit, and I really feel like this is going to be a bad start for Cutter Crawford at home against a really good Rangers lineup where he doesn't like pitching at home.
Any reason you didn't take Rangers first 5?
Yeah, so that was I knew you were going to ask that because I thought that's a great question. I considered it. I felt like even if it goes wrong in the first 5 and Cutter Crawford churns out this 5-inning gem for his standards, he doesn't go beyond that. So if it's tied 2-2 through the first 5, which I think could happen, I really, really like the situation where Red Sox bullpen has to go 4 innings the rest of the way. I'll take my chances there. So I just wanted to kind of leave it open to, if for whatever reason they don't get to Crawford in the first 5, he doesn't go deep in games. The Rangers lineup's better, and I have a feeling that the Red Sox bullpen will end up taking care of the rest for me. So I felt like it gave me 2 shots here. And I feel like Eovaldi goes deep into games anyways.
And you're getting some line movement towards your side. Cali wager took it at -135. You're on it at -140 a little bit later. Now it's at -145. So
wow,
they're catching something from somebody.
Yeah.
And it was an opener of -120, which I thought was very weird. This game, I couldn't make a bet on. Evaldi revenge game, wind blowing out. I didn't know. I thought it would be one of those kind of wacky games.
It could be.
Where the wind just takes a ball that a Verdugo fly out that just goes a little bit longer, ends up a double. I couldn't find an actionable edge in this game, me personally.
Well, it's to your point. The last 2 starts, he's kept the ball in the yard, but then when he was struggling in those previous 3, it was 2 home runs, 2 home runs, 1 home run. So, if he looks a little bit more like that guy, yeah, the long ball could be an issue. The one other thing that really stood out to me with Evaldi, though, we know he's a double TJ guy. It's just going to be some days, some stretches where he feels better, some stretches where he feels worse. In those stretches of 3 bad starts that he had, velocity was kind of down to 94, 95. Last start, he was back up to 96.3 average on the fastball. I'm hoping he'll hang around there. Adrenaline's definitely going to be pumping up a little bit more for him. And I'm hoping he's going to be more in that 96 range again. So I'm hoping that can kind of hedge some of the weather concerns as well.
Hell yeah. Let's get to pick number 2.
This one I think I like even more. This is one where this game was wild yesterday. I think it's going to be a pretty wild bullpen game today. I don't think Christopher Sanchez is going to go very deep in this one. So I like Ray's money line here. This is one where I just think it's pretty simple. The Rays are facing a left-handed pitcher who is not that good. He's turned in some decent outings so far, but if you look at some of the body of work in AAA, it hasn't been that great. He struggled with command issues, and I think that the Rays are going to make him work. That's what they do. But specifically against lefties this year, they're 3rd in Major League Baseball in WRC+, behind only the Braves and the Rangers at 129. I really like them in this spot. They knock Sanchez out early. The back end of the Phillies bullpen's been good, but it's going to be hard to try to bridge that gap. The Rays make these bullpen games happen, so it's already advantage Rays. I think they're going to get to Sanchez right away with how good they are against lefties. But even if Sanchez can go a couple innings, again, bullpen game always plays, I think, advantage to the Rays at home. I think this is a really good spot for them to bounce back here and pick up a win.
Good stuff. Okay, last thing that I want to tell you about because we got to get to our next guest. Hear about Michael Lorenzen? Tigers pulled him early. I didn't even see that. Tigers pulled him early. I think he was at like 4 innings, 60 pitch or something like that. He's getting traded. Like,
oh shit,
soon.
Is that what it is? Not hurt?
No, he was fine.
Love that. Then I'm curious where he's going.
Ooh, give me a prediction. Where do you think?
The Reds make all the sense in the world.
You think they're going to buy him?
Bring him home. I could see Reds. Who's a team that doesn't want to pay big, but is that eager to go get an arm right now? It's not going to be one of the best teams. Do you think the Astros would pick up Lorenzen?
I think they probably see something because he's got good stuff, and they have like Ronel Blanco, JP France, they need arms, and I think he's going to the AL West. I think it's either going to be the Rangers.
D-backs could be one.
I think he's going west. I don't think he goes to the Reds. I really don't.
I think the Reds might be sneaky quiet. We'll see. I could see the D-backs. They could just use another serviceable arm.
Another Merrill Kelly.
That would be nice if he could turn into something like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope he's not hurt. That'd be really fun to see him. I guess at the All-Star game as part of another team. That's pretty weird.
It'd be kind of cool.
Never happens really because he's a fake All-Star.
All right, my man. We'll talk to you soon. We got to move on.
Peace.
But I appreciate you. All right, who we got on next? We got Jake Hazen.
What up?
Jake Hazen, you and I went head to head. It got postponed.
Well, I went back to it.
Had a baby.
We're scoreless 2-3.
And look where we're at now.
Dude, I just saw Lance Lynn throw 3 straight slurves to Bo Bichette and struck him out. Yeah, no, with my own eyes. I saw him throwing slurves.
No, but he threw a slurve. Did you see that interview we had with Foul Territory?
Did he throw a slurve against Otani and it got sent?
Yeah, he was like, I was throwing this slurve and it's a horrible pitch, and I guess now it's back.
Dude, it looked like a really damn good pitch too. I mean, the first 2 pitches were way outside the zone, not competitive, but Lance Lynn being a stubborn motherfucker, he just kept throwing it and eventually struck out.
Good shit. Oh, he's so stubborn. Yeah. He's just one of those guys.
It's just Lance Lynn, dude.
I didn't go back to the over. I don't bet on doubleheaders. So I was like, these games off and then.
Well, I like the first 5 anyway. So, the doubleheader aspect wasn't really too important to me. Yeah. also one thing we're gonna do at pick. Don't bring up JP France in that bunch. Bring up Brandon. Dude, JP France has been good. Bring up Brandon Bielak. JP France would be a formidable 4 or 5 spot in the rotation.
We'll see.
Brandon Bielak. That guy.
No, Bielak of I know. Yeah, no, I agree.
But we'll get to the picks.
We'll get to the picks. Let's get to the picks.
What's the first pick, producer Cohen?
We got Phillies.
Yeah, I'm
going
straight up
against.
I'm going half unit first 5, half unit full game.
Okay, let's talk.
So this Sanchez fella, he's been a pretty decent starter up in the MLB so far. And one thing I look at his sinker usage, which since May 1st, which is a decent sample size, Peter. Don't be yelling at me for my sample size again. Right? I came with a bigger one today.
Hey, you came with a bigger one. I'm not saying shit.
And it's not saying this so far, but there's the Blue Jays fastball. I mean, but as I was saying, the sinkers, Blue Jays have a 0 run value since May 1st. So that's 14th MLB. Nothing to be strived for. And he throws a sinker and a changeup in in that same time span. The Rays, what they do, it's surprising, right? They don't really hit fastballs. They're big, like off-speed breaking pitch. Like where they rank in fastballs, like you expect them to be like top 5. Like they're like borderline top 10 in kind of every kind of fastball. But against changeups, they hit it pretty well. And at the same time span here, they're 10th. So yeah, but borderline top 10. But this thing is this changeup for Sanchez has been pretty damn effective. And this is what really shocked me, dude. I know Arm just plotted up how they were 3rd in OPS for the season so far, WRC plus versus lefties. Not recently. They've been really bad. I mean, since June 1st, they have can you guess their WRC plus versus lefties since June 1st?
Give me 92.
Dude, how about 77? Rays are regressing.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Taylor Walls isn't hitting 300 anymore.
I know, but I need plus 350 for them to win the division.
Dude,
I still
like
division.
It. Who else? I mean, like,
yeah.
Who are you scared of? Orioles are regressing. Everyone's regressing. I mean, dude, I hate the Yankees. You don't want to talk about it. That rotation gets healthy. Severino, his velo's back, but he looked even worse his last year. I don't get that. I did a huge write-up in Sevy. His like start against the Rangers. I'm like, his velo's back, his spin rates are up, and then he just looked like shit. So
I know.
I mean, just screw him. But
because he's throwing it right down the middle. That's his issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it start today, so I can just hopefully he shoves, just like I know I wasn't completely crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, 77 WRC plus, and for the Rays bullpen, I mean, a bullpen game, it's kind of what you expect. I mean, like I think at most Phillies score 5 runs. I feel like that's how every Rays bullpen game goes. Like, it just doesn't make sense most of the time. It's kind of sketchy fading since like the Rays bullpen games don't make sense. But I put it in the context here. The Rays bullpen, they rank since June 1st. I believe they are 15th in FIP and 17th in XFIP. So about a league average bullpen. And these Phillies right now, man, they're red hot. They're like riding a 12-game road winning streak. That's crazy.
No, 11. Yeah, 11 games. They're too shy of their franchise record.
11. Yesterday made it 12.
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
It might have been. You might be right.
And like this is a spot where like people are like, no way this team sweeps. The Rays got to get one. But like this happens a lot. Teams get swept, guys. Even the best teams get swept. And I've tried to back some spots. And it's about, I don't think it's I think it's about 50-50 in these situations. I mean, I don't have exact numbers, but I'm not scared to bet against a team avoiding the sweep. So they're about league average against sinkers, about league average. I mean, not well below league average against lefties this last month. And I think this is just a spot where I can take the Phillies to the dog and fade the narrative they can't get swept.
Good stuff. I mean, it's a
ballsy pick, man.
Ballsy pick.
I think my next pick's even more ballsy. This is the theme of my picks today, man. We're going dogs or we're going ballsy.
Let's talk. What else you got?
I guess we'll roll with the Cardinals, the nastier one. Yeah, I was talking to mid-major Matt this morning, and he brought up about how this team, Jack Flaherty against righties is a pretty serviceable pitcher. I mean, he is around a 3.5 FIP. I'm pulling up right now, but a well above league average FIP against righties this year, and the FIP against lefties is horrible, like close to 5. And his walks have been down lately. I mean, his commands look a lot better. I watched his last start against the Yankees. Granted, it was the Yankees, but he was putting his command was good. It wasn't just the Yankees having a horrible lineup, which they do, but his stuff looks really good. And so I think the righties in his lineup, I think he can match up pretty well because he's been pitching his ass off against righties lately. But there are 2 lefties in his team that can beat me here, and I fear I heavily fear Luis Arias. That guy I feel like Arias doesn't get out today. Like, I don't think he gets out. I mean, like, come on.
That's how I felt against Adam Wainwright. It took Luis Arias over 1.5 bases.
Like,
Against Adam Wainwright,
he just doesn't get out.
Leads off the game with a base hit, walks, just kept walking. And I was like, all right, this is over.
Yeah, might be a game where Arias won't walk. And then Jesus Sanchez. And the other lefty is Joey Wendell, and I'm not fearing Joey Wendell beating me. So I got 2 lefties I really got to worry about. I like the way Flaherty matches up against the Marlins. He throws against righties. He throws about 45% fastball. I mean, with this has been a topic brought up multiple times in the stream here. The Marlins aren't the best fastball hitting team in the league. They do hit curveballs really well, but Jack Flaherty's curveball has been super sharp this year. It's been probably easily his best pitch.
I agree.
So if I'm going to have a thing I'm worrying about, they hit the curveball as well, but at least I have the insurance of backing the fact this is Flaherty's best pitch. Let's go head to toe. Mano a mano.
Head to head. Yeah, no, yes. I feel you. I do that all the time too, and it normally ends up working out for the pitcher more than the hitter.
Yeah, pitchers usually have the advantage in this sport called baseball.
Yeah.
Tends to be how that works. And
you taking them full game or just first 5? You ain't dealing with
Giovanni. First 5, dude.
Not dealing with Gallegos.
I can't trust this team to win, man. I mean, we can try to snipe them first 5. The thing about these teams, they're like skidding and they just don't show any signs of winning. Like their first 5 record, like around 500. But like these teams, these big like losing streaks, like they'll sneak out a lot of first 5s, but they just won't win because they don't want to win. They refuse to. But go to Yuri Perez's side. So I hate selling Yuri Perez stock at this level because obviously, I mean, he just looked horrible after looking amazing. And so it might be a bad spot. This is going to be a spot where you probably should buy stock in him. But unfortunately, I am fading. And one thing about Yuri Perez, I mean, his underlying stats, they're interesting, to say the very least. So you look at his Baseball Savant and shows xERA and stuff. He's read out Baseball Savant, but his FIP isn't quite as good. But the thing is about it, his FIP against righties, this is insane how his FIP against righties is. So he's a 2.62 FIP against righties. And the Cardinals will be rolling out, I believe, let me pull either line pull up right here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 righties today. But his xFIP against righties is 3.6, and then against lefties, where it gets really troublesome, he has a 4.6 FIP and 4.3 xFIP. And I know there's a thing last year saying the Cardinals can't hit velo because they couldn't. But this year they're hitting velo, and they're mashing fastballs. They're top 5 in fastballs. There's another person I forgot to bring this equation. So they just crushed Severino, which granted looks like shit right now, but that's a high velo guy. And there's another example I can't remember off the top of my head, but a really good example, one of the best high velo pitchers in the league, Shohei Ohtani. They weren't scared of that velo, and they were smashing that slider too. Like they were not scared to take that velo yard. So the whole Cardinals can't hit velo narrative doesn't really scare me too much, and I like the way they match up against the rest of his pitches as well. And I think Yuri Perez is awesome, but I think it's time for him to start regressing a little bit to the mean. I'm not going to say they're going to put a 5 spot against him. Actually, I won't be surprised they will because I didn't want to bet the under in this game, but I just fear this just a Cardinals offensive explosion. So I decided to go ahead and go with the first 5 money line for the Cardinals instead.
Good stuff. 2 plays, 2 winners. You got more? One more?
I think I have one more. Oh, here we go. We're going back to it. We are going right back to it. 1 second here. So last night I bet this, and the first inning happened. Remember how I said this bet's losing because the Snakes won't be able to hit runners in score position, and the Snakes left 3 runners on base in the first inning. I'm like, they didn't score. I'm like, yep, this is it. Then just Senga just became just like no more guys on base.
He was so incredible. You could tell the Diamondbacks were just waiting for the splitter with 2 strikes, and he was just blowing it by him with 99 fastballs. I think he had like Senga. 5 backwards Ks on just fastballs.
I was shocked. It was just like I was just like, how are you not swinging at that? And I'm thinking, oh, that splitter is just so lethal.
They were just waiting for it for 2 strikes, and they couldn't touch the fastball. They had no idea what was happening to them.
Senga, he kind of reminds me. I mean, like they're not the same pitcher by any means, but they kind of act the same. He kind of reminds me like Snell. Like Snell can be really damn bad, but like when he's on, like he's the best pitcher in MLB.
Yeah,
and his other pitches are on because that's all they have the same issue, right? It's command.
That was the thing. That's why Snell, I always felt like, remember last year where I was the Blake Snell truther and he was getting shelled, and I was like, there's something in the
back in his faces. I remember
yeah,
that.
exactly. His stuff just wasn't playing, and now it's just playing right now. It's just like that's what he is. If he's landing the curveball for strikes, and Senga too, if he's landing the fastball and he's getting you to think about the splitter, it's over because you can't guess because it's 97 to 99. It's and
like you know what's crazy thing about like how good he's looking right now and be like this guy's like looking like one of the better pitchers in MLB. His stuff's on. He goes back to NPB, probably be the 4th best pitcher.
third.
There's some other guy I'm forgetting. That's better.
Yamamoto and Sasaki. And he might be better than Yamamoto. I mean, he's amazing.
Yamamoto's having a better season than Sasaki this year.
Yeah, true. Yamamoto is so good.
Dude, he's like really damn good. You saw what he did against Team USA, bro. That was no fluke.
He's unreal. I think
Sasaki got kind of blown up against Mexico, so it kind of goes both ways. Even though it was like fluke singles, didn't win a good hit, but that neither there nor there. So back to the actual game. We haven't even talked about the bet yet. So Carlos Carrasco. I mean, I'm not gonna dig into this guy. We know about this guy. This guy, it's not good. I mean, like, does anybody really want to write up on Carlos Carrasco?
You're good.
You don't need one, right?
No.
But Ryan Nelson. So one thing I love about this Mets team and why I think their offense is like not been an issue for this year is that when they face lefties, they stack like 8 righties, and when they face righties, they stack like 7 lefties. Like I love like how they're able to just stack these certain lineups. I mean, like today the projected lineup has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties. And Ryan Nelson, his biggest gripe, so against righties, kind of seen the Yuri Perez and a lot of younger pitchers. Obviously, Yuri Perez is a lot better than Nelson, but his biggest gripe this year is facing, left-handed hitters. Pulling up his splits right now. So versus, god dang it, sorry. Versus lefties this year, dude, he has a 5.66 FIP and a 5.59 xFIP. Then against righties, dude, he's a 3.23 FIP. Just like, fuck yeah, dude. Ryan Nelson's here. Then look at how he does against lefties. Like, oh, that's probably why. So yeah, I mean, stack lefty lineup. Both these bullpens don't scare me. And it's just more of just a fact. Like I just got burnt on this yesterday after loving it, and this is like, fuck it, we're going right back in this 2-1 disaster class. So that's I believe that is it for me today.
Good pitches, my friend. Per usual, that's why you're near the top of the leaderboard. Appreciate you coming on, my friend.
Yeah, and we gotta do some winners today, man. I went up on Twitter yesterday, but went down on this, so we gotta redeem this.
Gotta play the plays. Gotta play your card.
I can't play Matt Theis total bases on here at plus 180, or else you guys would be in trouble because he went yard. And Joe Adell hit that too.
Atta baby.
You're lucky I can't do that because I'll be coming on with Joe Adell. He's saving the Angels season. Just letting you guys know.
He really is. I appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Go Angels.
Go Angels. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the stream. Oh, 2 picks from KB because he couldn't come. Let's check him out. Cardinals money line, his favorite team. Bang. Cleveland first 5. Yeah, I mean, it's against freaking Jordan Lyles. This Jays game going to end 0-0. Guys, thank you again for listening. I know it's been a tough couple of days. Actually, we won both bets before yesterday's travesty, but did you go over home run guys? Yes. So my home run guy today is Andrew McCutchen. Yesterday was Luke Raley, which banged. Let's get 2 in a row today with Andrew McCutchen. That's my favorite. And producer Cohen went with Adley. Producer Cohen went with Adley. All right, we're gonna raid Skitchen. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, he's on. I see Degen. So we're gonna raid Degen for you guys. I think people are reading too much into Lorenzen getting pulled after 5. They're up 7-0. Bullpen arrested. First All-Star game appearance coming up on Tuesday, which I'm sure I want to throw in. Could be the case. We'll see. But good point, Ty. Kutch. Okay, sounds good. Let's get it rolling, my friend. Again, appreciate you guys. Make sure to support. Download Pikkit. Use code Peter. Follow me when you sync your sports book. Enter into that raffle. Same thing with Prize Picks. BetMGM. Code's just baseball. Y'all know the drill. You want to rate them? Get after it. Appreciate you guys. Let's have a day. All right, let's have a day. Appreciate you guys again. We got to remember it's not gambling advice, though. Hopefully we enjoy the Thursday. Let's get a Pirates bang. Why not us? All right. See you guys.